So, welcome to this system, HJK789, whatever that means. This is round 2 in the Clopsey 2v2 Swiss, January the 16th, 2016. Now, what do we got here? We've got a system with 2 moons, 2 versus 2 and Marshall, and in this one we've got purple, Oxide Iron and AndreasG versus orange, Pieman and Neon. On this moon over here, we'll just say moon 1 and moon 2, there we go. That sorts it out a little bit, doesn't it? And on the South Pole, I don't know who these commanders are. Sort of double bots first, actually no, vehicles versus bots first on this moon. That's going to be an interesting dichotomy there. The bots will be able to get some expansions going. Meanwhile, of course, on the other moon with the vehicles there, a bit slower to start, but we'll get there going in the end. The other moon also went bots rather than vehicles. Kind of typical. So we're going to see 2 1v1s in this one. Very nice. Very interesting system. Surrounding a gas giant as well. I wonder whether the game will progress far enough to see gas giant play. We don't usually. But then again, it's a 2v2, so you never know what could happen. We may see the gas giant be incredibly important in this late game. So let's have a look. We're going to have the first moon over here, so that we can see what's going on there. We already see some scouts going off, just so the orange team can see what's going on. We see some boombots. Boombot play. Everyone already knows that when I see boombots, I have to go. But there we are. Boombots going up from purple, maybe trying to raid a fabricator or 2. They need a scout to accompany them, otherwise they are not going to be able to see anything. Meanwhile, on this moon over here, more scouts coming out from orange and purple. A Liger bomber going up. Maybe grab a fabrikill. I doubt it. He has to go over the commander and Galata. But if he gets a successful run on these 3 fabbers now that they're away from the pack, oh, it's going to be close. It's going to be so close. He doesn't get all 3. He gets 2 though. That's pretty decent for this point in the game. It's going to slow down orange on this planet just a little bit. Just a little bit. Not necessarily hugely, but still pretty good for this point in the game. Meanwhile, on the other moon, let's have a look at what they're doing. In come the boombots. They don't see any fabricators. They're going to have to go in different ways to get those fabikills. Going to have to avoid the ants on this side. In comes the boombot, nicely microed. Is he going to get the fabrikill? Yes, he is. Very nice boombot control there from purple. Not something you tend to see too often, but it can be a very, very powerful use of boombots. This sort of fabber sniping early game, as long as you can manipulate them around units, and it sort of relies on the fact that early game you won't have too many units. And there goes another fabricator. Very well played by Oxide Iron and AndreasG. Everyone already knows that they are possibly one of the stronger teams, if not the strongest, in this Clopsey 2v2 Swiss. But that was some really good boombot play there. Let's have a look on the other moon and see what's going on over here. Maybe not so heavy boombot micro. No, it doesn't look like it. That was some pretty impressive boombot micro, I cannot lie. Around though, we do see the air game. Interesting that we don't see any movement into T2. There's enough mechs to maybe have a latent T2 factory, and by latent of course I mean having maybe 1 or 2 fabricators working on it and not a lot else. Just having it going up over time, nice and slow and steady, not doing too much damage to your eco, but still getting in the T2 game, and that's what's the important bit. Excuse me. So what else is going on? We do see some docks raiding. They do have to get that fabricator there. This commander doing a lot of work. Just building factories there. Lots and lots of bots. So we're going to have some heavy docks play. We do have the transition into vehicles there, as we did see a second ago. Oh, by the way, Twitch chat, if you ever detect that my audio and video is out of sync, do let me know, as that has been known to happen lately in my streams. For some unknown reason. But the docks do get gobbled up by orange there. Nicely done. Same there by the tanks, and the spinner survives. The air game trade though, bombers don't want to necessarily be at the front. Taking a lot of hits there. The interceptors taking out the bombers, but trading very, very poorly in the rest of the air game there. But yeah, going back to what I was saying about the heavy docks play from Orange, they're going to have a lot of units moving around these moons, and they're going to have a heavy sort of omnipresent force, I suppose, of docks, going to be able to really contain Purple, providing they use them right. But then again, Purple are going to fight back and do all they can to try and counter that in this game. Getting out their bombers, possibly playing a little bit more defensively. Thank you very much for the follow, my friend! Gapik? Zapik. I read that wrong. Thank you for the follow. I'm used to the notification thing being a lot bigger. My eyes are terrible. Anyway, meanwhile, in this rest of this game, but yes, Purple maybe playing a little bit more defensively early game, getting up a few more air factories there, leaving their commander idle for a little bit, maybe assisting on the micro on the other planet there. Let's have a look at what we see over here. We do see some more docks moving in. Not going to trade too well against this force here, just walking in, getting gobbled up by those tanks. Wasn't great. They didn't even manage to get the Fabicles. Had they got the Fabicles, I would have said that was worth it, but they didn't, and so they didn't really achieve much with that attack. But yeah, there's the T2 factory, and it's a latent one as well. That's what I mean by a latent factory, maybe having one or two fabricators and not a lot else on it. Currently only one. May see that second one go onto it shortly. But looking around, again, typically on moons like this, you do tend to see just a lot of docks everywhere, and vehicles over time beginning to mix into the builds. You don't think I'm terrible, Alpha? What? I'm not sure I'm following Twitch chat very well. This is second round. But yeah, the bombers there nicely going over some spinners, taking a little bit of damage, not necessarily going to kill it, and actually taking down the bombers as well there. Nice defense, and I think that's what Purple are trying to rely on at this point in the game. They are playing much more defensively, and over time they will fight back. They just need to make sure their economy maintains its positivity. But anyway, yeah, their power needs to be possibly sorted out, and they are trying to get that up here as they are building some more power gens or P-gens. T2 factory goes up though. Oh, nothing's building that. Nothing's building that T2 factory. Someone get on that. Thank you, Commander. Just making sure that it doesn't start to decay. That's very important there, that it doesn't start to decay, of course. For those unfamiliar with PA, if you don't build something for a long time, it does start to sort of decay, and the resources that you spent into it are wasted. Interesting use of docks here by Orange. This sort of area patrol shenanigans. I suppose it means coming in one at a time, doing a bit of micro in various places, I suppose. But it also gets you a lot of intel and vision over the planet, and you can see there that docks have quite a good vision range. But there you are. Over here as well, seeing a radar, maybe trying to take that down as well, and they, if uncontested, they will manage to do that. That's important that Purple try and contest that. In fact, reclaimed by two hero fabbers there. But this force here is going to push back. It's going to take down these two mechs. Possibly, I don't think it'll get past all of these turrets. These fabricators are not going to get up that turret though, unfortunately. But these turrets here are going to do the work against these docks and the tanks. I think they'll just be able to hold it off nicely. We'll have to see. It's going to be close actually. We need the bombers coming in, folks. Where are those bombers? Oh dear. Getting swamped a little bit there, turret. Meanwhile on the other side, what do we see? I see a combat fab. T2 fabricators finally out from Purple. Do we see the T2 from Orange? Let's have a look on the other planet. Yes, we do have T2 vehicles and levelers coming out. Storms as well. Storms will be really nice to maybe take out this this air dominance that Purple currently own. Let's have a look over here, as I did see some raiding from purple. Really nicely done there on the other side, taking down a lot of mechs. And also some defensive forces by the look of it. And this is why you tend to see heavy docks on planets like moons. There's not a lot of terrain obstruction. They pretty much have free reign, and all you need is docks and air, and you have a pretty mobile force, and which is somewhat quickly massable, I suppose. Here they don't want to stick around for too long. They could take out some more mechs if they wanted to, but what's important here is that they're displacing the defensive army. Meanwhile, this one is coming in from the other side, and we'll be able to do some damage against some of those factories. And again from this side as well, so they'll see all of this displacement. A few mines going up as well, very interesting indeed. Air Force coming over, don't necessarily see the storms. There's that storm there with the two levelers, that's going to be the clincher there. Interceptors coming in though, trading, there's not really a lot they can do about that really. The moment they come off the production line, they're getting gobbled up by the dogfight over their lovely little home. This side though, doing a good bit of damage here actually with these, and a couple of levelers in there as well, and there's not actually all that much to defend against this. Let's see how the Orange Commander can deal with this. All he can really do is try and put up some factories at this point, maybe get up a teleporter and send some units from the other base, but again, the other base doesn't have that many units in and of itself. Most of those are already out in force attacking, trading against docks, and that's the thing that Purple were relying on. They were playing a little bit defensive earlier, and then they got their mobile docks force, use that to displace the defending armies, and then hit them hard while the armies were displaced, and that's a really good strategy there to employ. But this air dominance though, they see the storm, they can't go over there. We already know what happens with storms, don't we folks? Ah dear. This could be catastrophic. Meanwhile on the other base though, it's getting torn to shreds. There's the teleporter. The commander may be trying to flee, but the moment you relinquish a planet, you may as well say GG. It's very, very hard to come back after you've lost a planet, because the other player can then just start capitalizing on the eco big time. These docks are going to go in, maybe focus down that storm, at which point, yeah, there they go, they're focusing down, down goes the storm, now the bombers can come in, very nicely done there indeed. These levelers are going to be very nicely defended against. The spinner goes down as well. Really nice play from Purple here, they know what they're doing, as again, we already know that the Purple team is very, very strong. Yeah, frequent pilgrim, I would agree. Again, once you relinquish a planet in these sorts of games where it's 1v1 on two different planets at the same time, the moment you lose a planet, you're not doing yourself any favours. Let's put it that way. Because you can eco up, you can send all your units. So basically, you have half the eco and double the units against you. So it's sort of a double loss, really. At which point. Ping's going down from Orange saying, "Hey, there's a teleporter here. Send your com through, and we'll give him a nice warm bed until he's brutally murdered by projectile weaponry." No use of the gas giant though. Advanced radar located. But this Air Force though, it's just so good. Having a look in the Army tab, despite the Economy tab just being so heavily biased to the side of Purple at this point, it's just so heavy to them. Factories 37 to Purple, although they are struggling on metal a little bit, but 37 factories, 15 fabbers, and 6 times the mobile units there. That is nasty to have to deal with. I wouldn't want to be in Orange's shoes right now. Looks like they're going on an all-in here to maybe try and win some ground, but the defense from Purple is really strong. Let's see how they defend against this. Is there a storm in this army? There is not. There are a few spinners. Will they be able to deal with this sort of Air Force, though? That is the question. Regardless as to whether they do or not, the Air Force just has to take down a few of those levelers and all the docks while they're at it, and then these ones can move in, but in they come now anyway, just saying let's go, do what damage we can. Orange base on the other planet has been completely destroyed. The commander tried to flee. A few Tesla bots, the Sparks, doing good work there against the docks. Nice to see those mixed in against the heavy docks play here. But in come the bombers now, knowing that the majority of the spinners are gone. Oh, but they see a storm. They run away. They don't want to go over the storm. They know how not to play against storms. Down goes the storm. The Air Force can come back over and start to do its dirty work once again. It'll go in a different way though. Did we get both commanders onto this planet? Both of them are safe and sound on this planet, but safe is not exactly what you want to be saying. Or rather, it's not particularly accurate, as they are definitely not safe. Nor are they sound. They are somewhat silent. They just sort of go about their monstrous, destructive activities without displaying much emotion, really. But anyway, that's a topic for a forum thread a long way away from here. But there you are. In come the bombers now, going to take down a few of these T2 fabricators, and it's just a case of purple really capitalising on their advantages and mopping up. Let's see the teleporter coming in from the other planet. Do we see one on the purple team? Yeah, and this is what I mean. Double the units from the other planet now. All of their units should be going through this teleporter now that they know Orange is no longer on this planet. They even got into the orbital. Are they actually on the gas giant at this point? That's... and rubbing salt into the wound there. We'll watch that in the picture-in-picture, but that's what I mean about double the units. Not much really Orange can do against this. A little bit of lag. I'm not sure if that's me or someone else. But there really isn't much that Orange can do here. They're limited on eco, they're limited on units, and they don't have the production to be able to defend for very long. It's just a case of purple consolidating their forces and not throwing them away. But then again, these Sparks are doing really good work against these docks. I think a lot of people sniff at Sparks and turn their nose up at them, but I think if you get them right, they can really do some good work, because yeah, they only fire at the things that immediately come into their range, and so you're not really getting the full effect of the area damage, but still, when they're out in full force and assisted by levelers and combat fabs, that's pretty powerful stuff. But when they meet tanks, they kind of melt. Trying desperately to put up a landmine, a lone landmine here, there, and everywhere. Really going to do a lot. Orange. Oof. That leveler just took a landmine to the face. There you are. A Manhattan? Are you serious? That's their defensive strategy? A Manhattan? I wonder whether purple will actually kill off this factory or just let the Manhattan come out and then blow it up the moment it gets off the production line. It's like, you built nuclear weapons, we'll blow them up on the launch pad. But down goes the comm, and down goes all the air. Doesn't look like that the Manhattan is going to build. No way, the other commander is dead as well. There's the GG call by Andreas. N30N Pieman and Oxide, very well played there by those guys. And you can just see how on these multiple planet 2v2s, where it's effectively 2 1v1s, it's just so important. The moment you win one, that's when you know you have huge snowballing advantage. But that's down to the players to be able to win those 1v1s, I suppose. Really well microed boombots early on from purple as well. Really held back the production at those points. But I think vehicles would have been better for countering levelers and also for the storms. But then again, they do not know that red have gone T2 vehicles themselves. Had they known that, they probably would have changed their choice of T2 production priority. But then again, they do need to get that up and just get out some T2 economy so they can really start ramping up their production, as they are not doing that just yet. Cheeky little Galata here from that Faber. Is there anything to go and deal with it? I don't see any bombers, so that Galata is going to get up. Very, very cheeky Galata indeed. Really nice and proxy there as well. Possibly see a couple of proxy naval factories, maybe some artillery. That fabricator, if left unchecked, and that position, if left unchecked, will be a real nuisance. Let's get back up here to this fight in the north side now, though. The Infernos are beginning to encroach. There's the spinner reveal.